different story that is making headlines today. This one coming out of Wisconsin. Wisconsin's Supreme Court has struck down the state's mask mandate. The court ruling 4-3 that Governor Tony Evers violated state law. Fox 6's Jason Calvi joins us now with the very latest. Jason, what does this mean for Wisconsin residents?
So Daytona, what it means right now is we're dealing with a patchwork of mask rules across the state. So right now I'm standing in the city of Wauwatosa, which has a mask mandate. The camera on the other side of the street is in the village of Butler, and there's no mask ordinance in that village. So you're going to see a patchwork of mask rules here in Wisconsin. Now, the Wisconsin Supreme Court heard this case back in November. And the rub here, the gist of the story is that Wisconsin law gives the governor 60 days to declare an emergency, a public health emergency or a disaster. And in this instance, he first declared a public health emergency because of the pandemic back in March 2020. But what happened was he continued to issue new emergencies. Now, according to state law, he has that 60-day power, but then after that, to extend it, he does have to go through the legislature. But he said he was issuing these new emergencies, subsequent emergencies, because the pandemic has changed, it's evolved, it's erupted. So for example, he issued one when schools were starting back up, and he said there was an uptick in the young people, college age and young adults, there was an uptick in them. So he issued a new emergency when the school year started. So he says he's continuing to respond to a changing situation. And that was the basis of this lawsuit. Did he have that authority to issue subsequent emergencies or not? And today, with a 4-3 ruling, the majority said no, he does not have that authority. He has a 60-day window for an emergency. After that, it has to go through the legislature, which didn't happen here. So right now, again, Wisconsin's statewide mandate is no longer. But again, these city ordinances like in Milwaukee, Wauwatosa, where I'm standing right now, is just outside of Milwaukee. Both Milwaukee and Wauwatosa both have ordinances requiring masks. But like I said, where the camera is in Butler, no mask mandates tonight.
Jason, give us an idea of how COVID cases are looking out there, county by county or across the whole state in Wisconsin.
Right, so COVID cases have been going up. The Milwaukee Health, they have these weekly and several times a week press conferences, and they have warned that they are very worried about an uptick coming up. We do have vaccinations have increased here in Wisconsin, so we've now topped 1 million residents of the state have received the full vaccination, so either 2 doses of the 2 vaccines or the Johnson & Johnson, the 1 dose of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. So more than 1 million people fully vaccinated in Wisconsin. We are seeing right now an uptick in COVID-19, so there are some serious worries here in Wisconsin and in the Milwaukee area regarding an uptick in COVID-19. But we know also, hearing from Republicans, they're pointing to Texas, where they also got rid of their mask mandate in Texas, and Governor Abbott there in Texas on Sunday tweeted out that, hey, they've reached actually on Sunday record lows in COVID numbers 3 weeks after they got rid of their mask mandate. So we'll see what happens here in Wisconsin. Governor Evers our governor here, Tony Evers, did speak a few moments ago or a couple hours ago, and he said this was a step backward for the state, but he said he felt that Wisconsinites are resilient, and he thought they would still continue to wear the masks, even though now it's no longer an order, but just a suggestion from the governor.
And last question for you, Jason. We're hearing how officials are feeling about this, but what about all the residents out there? Are they excited about it? Are they frustrated?
Well, it's really been a pretty divisive issue here in Wisconsin. You've seen there was actually a petition at the end of last fall, October, November time, where people were actually trying to have a vote to get rid of our governor here. That didn't go forward. They didn't get enough signatures on the petition. But it is a divisive esse. You see both the Democrats and Republicans continuing to fight even today on this. Democrats say that the Supreme Court of Wisconsin is going to put lives at risk, really, and it's really going to help or really increase COVID numbers, they say. Democrats say here in Wisconsin. Republicans say people have the right to make their own choices. Businesses here in Wisconsin will continue to have the right to ask patrons to mask up before going in. We're seeing that many restaurants and big box stores, even before the mask mandate was put into place in August 1st of 2020, we saw a lot of the restaurants and bars, as well as those big box stores and other retailers mandating masks here in Wisconsin. We're going to continue to see that tonight. And as we move forward, Republicans say it's the business people that have the right to demand that, but they said it's not the government to put in that one-size-fits-all response to the COVID pandemic.
Again, Fox 6's Jason Calvi literally covering the entire state right now. We appreciate you joining us here on News Now from Fox.
Thanks for having me.